title of the conference, right? Engineering and management. I have not seen, honestly, in my past 25 years of career, I have not seen a conference that focuses both on engineering and management. And I'll tell you why that is extremely important for the industry. Dr. Soundararajan made a comment. He said, the attitude is very important. And you can't believe how much, right, coming from the industry, more than your attitude, if you come and show me your marks, saying that I got 90%, I got, 70%, we actually are less kind of interested in that. We're more interested in your attitude. We're interested in how good you are in working with us, right? How good you are in working with your team members. So the attitude plays a very big role in your hiring. I keep telling, I don't know how many of you have read this book, but it's Islamic Motivational Stories for Kids. It's a book written by Shoaib Ali. Whenever you get a chance, you should buy that. And the first story in that book is about a guy. He parks this nice, very big Mercedes outside a shop, right? And there's a kid, a street urchin, will be standing near the car, and he'll be trying to wipe it, admire the car, because it's very beautiful and big. So the guy walks out, and then before opening the door, he sees the child, trying to touch the car, feel good. And he'll say, do you want a ride? The kid is very excited. He says, yeah, sure, I want a ride. So this gentleman takes the kid in the car. They go around and then come back. And then he says, did you like the car? The kid is shocked, right? He's so happy. He said, yeah, it's such a great car. Must be very expensive. He said, yeah, very expensive. My brother gave it to me as a gift. So that guy will be, the kid is very excited. He said, wow, a brother. So this guy says, oh yeah, don't you want a brother like that? The kid says, no, I want to be the brother. Attitude. Imagine, this is a street kid, but 10 rupees is big. But he's thinking of gifting someone a 1 crore car. Attitude and aiming high is extremely important. And you're all very fortunate, compared to a lot of people in this country and a lot of people in this world. You are extremely fortunate to be actually sitting in an engineering college and having an education. Because education changes lives. And it changes lives very seriously, right? I remember my own experience, 25 years ago, one of my classmates, his MSET rank was number 6. Right? And then his parents actually they live not far away from here. And they used to have 1 acre and a small hut made of thatch roof. So this guy throughout his life studied using scholarships. They lived in a hut. And he had 3 sisters, right? MSET rank number 6. He stood first in computer science in the entire university. He came out, he did his master's in Hyderabad Central University. After 2 years, so he worked with me in the US. And after 2 years, he bought 5.5 acres of land. After 1 year from that, he bought a house. He married the local village principal's, the school principal's daughter. He married all the 3 sisters off, and he has 2 kids, and he has 2 homes in the United States. That's the power of education. Education not only transforms your life, but it transforms the life of your generations to come. So, don't miss this opportunity. Many of you, maybe you're very rich, but education will open your mind. It will make you think very different. Right? And that attitude is very important. Right? In the industry, so Dr. Soundararajan said, right, from the industry, what do you do? From the industry standpoint of view, the industry is very impatient. We don't have time because we only think money. From morning till night, we are only interested in money. We're not interested in trying to work with you, help you, do stuff. We're not interested. So when you come and sit in front of us, we want to see how ready are you, how much time and how much effort do we have to spend on you to make you ready for us. We just gauge that very quickly, right? So industry doesn't have time. Industry doesn't have the patience. So you're learning from the industry, as Arishi said, for the competence for the industry lies in the college. So whatever you there's an Irish saying, it says, lead, follow, or get the hell out of the way. That's industry. You either lead, you either follow, or you get the hell out of the way. That's the industry. So when you come into the industry, your attitude is extremely important. I'll never forget this. In 2007, I was trying to hire a vice president of engineering back in Boston. And we had a lot of people coming in. And at that senior level, you don't interview them, right? You ask them to come for a nice breakfast or a nice lunch. You sit across the table, you try and, it's like courting a nice wife, right? So we quote them. And so there was one guy and gentleman who was sitting across the table at the restaurant. And then I asked him, I said, so, I can bring your profile. Can you tell me a little about yourself? So he opened his laptop. He connected to the internet. He went to Google. He typed his name. And he showed it. He said, and it shows 1,75,000 hits on his name. On Google, there were 1,75,000 hits on his name. So I just called my president of HR and I said, just get this done. So industry looks for that. Industry looks at how many Google hits do I get on each of the name. Did you present a conference paper? Did you do something, nice academically? Did you do something nice for the society? Equally important to us. Did you go do blood camps? Whatever it is, right? Nice for the society. But we want to see your participation. Not just sit there in the class and do nothing. We want to see your participation in whatever form it is, whether it is socially, right, academically, whatever you want to participate, but we want to see the participation because that tells how active you are and that reduces our effort. Because in industry we look at self-learners, right? I'll tell you my own experience, right? Back in my first venture, right, I was trying to raise about $2.5 million in the US. And there is this venture capital firm called Crosspoint Venture Partners. They are the 8th largest venture firm in the world. So I still remember the date, it was July 26th. I was standing there and I was presenting 26 slides. Right? I was presenting 26 slides. Seth Neiman was the general partner who was actually going to give me the money. So he was sitting there. And his associate, Steve Foster, Steve is now a very big guy. He's a part of the Texas Pacific Group, who actually took Dell private, $46 billion Dell private. He's one of the key guys. So Steve was also sitting there, right? When I was presenting, Steve Foster was actually just looking at me, staring at me. So I used to look at the project, slide and then look back. Steve used to be just looking into my eyes all the time. And it made me feel very uncomfortable, right? So at the end of it, everything went good. I asked for $2.5 million. They gave me $13.5 million. And after that, we had a party. Typically when a company gets funded, you throw a party, right? So we threw a party, and then Steve was there. And now we have become friends. So I went and I asked Steve. I said, Steve, you made me so uncomfortable that day. Just looking straight into my eyes, and he said, Srinivas, you are a technologist. So what you're presenting, we cannot be the judge of, because that's emerging technology. So I don't understand it. But what I'm very good at reading people. So I was just observing you to know your sincerity, how much confident you are about it, how much you will be able to bend yourself to the changing needs of the market. So I was just observing that. So that's another example of what we do in the industry. We don't, when you're answering a question, right? I don't understand half of the stuff maybe you're saying, but we observe you very carefully. So the attitude is extremely important. Your readiness in a competency is extremely important. And coming to the very apt title conference of engineering and management, both go hand in hand very well. And I actually love this example a lot. There was one engineer walking on the street with his wife, right? And a beautiful blonde walks by. The engineer's wife asks the engineer, how is she? The engineer says, she is very beautiful. A sales guy is walking with his wife, and the same blonde walks by. So the sales guy's wife asks the sales guy, how is she? And the sales guy says, she is not as beautiful as you are. But the moral of the story is that both of them are right. The engineering guy is a technical guy. You asked him a technical question, how is she? He said, she is beautiful. And the sales guy was asked a sales question. He believed in the product he had. He believed in his wife. So he said, she is beautiful. For any product to be successful, first thing is that you have to believe in what you have. Whether it is engineering or management, you have to believe in what you have. Otherwise, you cannot take the next step. Right? And for almost like 100% of the technologies that emerge in the world, only about 5 to 7% of them are successful. And that's because of the management. Right? For any product or for any emerging technology to be successful, it's extremely important that the management goes hand in hand. So I work with a lot of venture capitalists throughout the world. I see plans, people come up and say, oh, this is so revolutionary technology. Right? But if there is no management side of the coin, there's only technology and there's no management side of the coin, that technology will never emerge. I mean, how many of you knew Google for a long time, right, was struggling till Eric Schmidt came and he just turned it around. And Google is not a technology wonder, right? It's a management wonder. People figured out the psychology of the buyer. So that's more important. So, as I said, in the first time in my career, I have actually seen a conference that addresses an emerging trend in both engineering and management, right? But don't, just to conclude, don't ignore education. Don't ignore your core subject and your attitude. I keep telling you, I visit a lot of colleges even in India, and the first thing I look for is all the people who can get the movie first show, first day, first ticket. They're all great people. They're achievers. Because it is even tough to get that. Imagine a guy has to plan when is the first day, first show, and he will not give you time to learn. You are running all the time. So you better learn well at college and then come to the industry. Then you will shine very well. So I definitely, I've been seeing the voluminous book on all the papers that are circulated. I don't understand that a bit, right? But all I know is that every person who has written a paper in there has an ambition, right? Every person who has written it, right? However small you aim, however small you achieve, you are important to us. I wanted to say International Conference in Management and Engineering. The second year
రాయల్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూట్లో చేస్తున్నారు. వన్ ఆఫ్ ది ఇండియాలో అంతటికి యూనిక్ ఈవెంట్ ఇది. అంటే కంబైనింగ్ ఇంజనీరింగ్ అండ్ మేనేజ్మెంట్ చాలా యూనిక్. రాయల్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూట్ వాళ్ళ కమిట్మెంట్ టు అంటే స్టూడెంట్స్ని ఇండస్ట్రీకి రెడీ చేయడానికి చేసి బయటికి పంపించిన దాని కమిట్మెంట్ ఈజ్ హైలీ కమెండబుల్. ఈ యూనిక్ ఆపర్చునిటీ ఐ థింక్ స్టూడెంట్స్ అందరికీ చాలా వాల్యుబుల్. అండ్ ఇండస్ట్రీ సపోర్ట్, ఇలాంటి కాన్ఫరెన్సెస్కి ఇండస్ట్రీ సపోర్ట్ చాలా ఉంటుంది. జస్ట్ ద వాల్యూమ్ చూసారంటే 170 పబ్లికేషన్స్ ఫ్రమ్ ఆల్ ది ఇంటర్నేషనల్ ఆథర్స్ రావడం అది చాలా గొప్ప విషయం. సో ఐ కమెండ్ డాక్టర్ ఆర్ఎఫ్, మేనేజ్మెంట్ ఆఫ్ రాయల్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూట్, ఇంత మంచి కాన్ఫరెన్స్ అరేంజ్ చేసి స్టూడెంట్స్కి వాల్యుబుల్గా. ఇప్పుడు ఎందుకంటే నౌడేస్ స్టూడెంట్స్కి జస్ట్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ చెప్పి పంపించేయడం కాకుండా వాళ్ళని ఇండస్ట్రీ రెడీ చేసి బయట పంపించడం అనేది చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్ విషయం. దానిలో ఫోర్ ఫ్రంట్ ప్రప్రథమంగా ఉన్నందుకు రాయల్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూట్ వాళ్ళకి కంగ్రాచులేషన్స్.
Chief guest, Mr. Damergidda, co-founder, CEO, and Director of Economic Technologies Corporation USA. Our respected Director and Vice Chairman, Royal Institute of Technology and Science, Dr. Arif Rizwan. Our distinguished guest, Dr. Ramachandra Arya Shri Ankiti, Director, School of Management Studies, JIT Hyderabad. Our most valued guest, Dr. K. Soundarajan, Professor DC and Officer on Special Duty to Vice Chancellor, JIT Hyderabad. Respected Principal of Royal Institute of Technology and Science, Dr. Shamir Basha. Respected Dean of Academics, Dr. Sayyid Sattar sir. The convener of Second International Conference of Royal Institute of Technology and Science, Dr. Sardar Ali. Research scholars, participants, staff and students. It's my privilege to have been asked to propose the vote of thanks on this occasion of inaugural of Second International Conference on Advances in Engineering and Management. I must mention our deep sense of appreciation for our chief guest, Dr. Mr. Srinivas, for sharing his vast experience and knowledge and suggestion, especially mentioning the importance of attitude, and attitude takes us to the altitude, and also for mentioning the power of education. Further, we are grateful to Dr. Ramachandra Arya for his presence in the inaugural function and for his suggestions and for mentioning competency-based learning, which is inspiring for all of us. I may like to express our sincere thanks to Dr. K. Soundarajan, Professor DC, JIT Hyderabad, for being with us for this inaugural function and sharing his views. Finally, I would like to take this opportunity to place on record our hearty thanks to research scholars and authors who have come from different destinations for sharing their research work. I extend my thanks to all the sponsors and press and electronic media persons. I cannot thank everyone enough who are behind the screen for their involvement and their willingness to take on the completion of the task beyond their comfort zones. Once again, I want to state that we are all grateful to all the speakers on the stage. We are all inspired by your great words. Thank you very much.